Robert, your little brother Winston just got accepted into med school.
Oh, hey, Mom. Yeah, I just heard. Winston told me. I congratulated him.
Me, Winston, and your father are going out to a luxury sushi restaurant to celebrate the good news tonight. Obviously, you won't be joining us. All the reviews online said that this is the most luxurious restaurant in town, so it's clearly not appropriate for someone like you. You will, however, be footing the bill, so I expect you to make your way down to 5th Street the moment I message you to let you know we're done eating.
When you say the most luxurious restaurant in town, do you mean Sushi-licious Shenanigans, by any chance? You know, the place famous for being 3 times as expensive as most other luxury restaurants?
Of course. Unlike you, his moronic high school dropout big brother, Winston is intelligent and hard-working. He's by far mine and your father's favorite child, and we intend to reward him for his efforts.
You intend to reward him? On my dime? You've got some nerve. I thought you promised to stop doing this once I agreed to cover your debt repayments.
I don't see what that has to do with anything. But if you must insist on dragging it up, I think you should be grateful me and your father are granting you the privilege of repaying our debts. Think about it. Now you have a reason to drag your worthless backside out of bed in the morning and go to work. I won't be hearing another word of complaint out of you, boy. Do you hear me? If you know what's good for you, you'll keep your mouth shut and carry on working like a dog to support your beloved family.
I see. Hey, Big Pro, is now a good time? Winston? Why are you messaging me we're in the same house, you big doofus? I don't want Mom and Dad to hear what I'm about to say. Really? Sounds dramatic. Alright, well, fine by me, I guess. Listen, Robert, I'm thinking of giving up on becoming a doctor. Whoa, where in the holy frickin' Jesus balls did that come from? Did I eat magic mushrooms without anyone telling me or something? Why would you do that when you only have a year left before you graduate med school? You're almost done paying off Mom and Dad's debt, right? Yeah, actually I am. I should be done with the last repayment right around the time you graduate. But why? What does that have to do with anything? It's Mom and Dad. They told me what their plans are after I graduate and become a doctor. They said they both plan on quitting their jobs and having me provide for them for the rest of their lives. What the heck? And that's only what was actually said to me directly. When I left the room, I overheard them planning a bunch of expensive vacations and to buy tons of crazy expensive branded goods and accessories. House extensions, exotic labradoodles, vintage whiskeys, gold-plated toilet seat, a Ferrari. You name it, Robert. They're planning on buying it all with my money. I have no idea why they think they have an infallible right to my salary, but there you go. Jesus, bro, what am I even reading? They don't seem to have any idea that it'll still be an intern for at least a few years now that I've left med school, which means I'll be on $40K a year at best. This probably goes without saying, but I'll be making way less than you do, right? Yeah, I guess so. Mom and Dad love to harp on about how being a high school dropout makes me a failure. But it was thanks to that I was able to start working so early. I've been at my company for 15 years now. I'm in an executive position and get an extra allowance for all the qualifications I've acquired over the years. Plus, I have the extra money I make from the side hustle I started 7 years ago. Right? That's what I thought. Exactly. That's why I'm so astonished they managed to convince themselves I'm going to be rolling in cash the second I get out of med school. Robert, listen. I want to move out of this house. Wow, are you serious? Are you really surprised? You want to leave yourself, right? They've put you through your fair share of crap too, haven't they? Not least among it, forcing you to drop out of high school so you could pay off their gambling debts, and then having the nerve to give you crap for being a high school dropout? Yeah, I guess you're right. The only reason I accepted to take over the repayments is because Uncle Joe was the one who lent him the money, which means I never had any legal obligation to pay. That's not all. You cover my med school fees too, and I know that can't have come cheap. It's Only thanks to you I was able to get in without going into debt myself. You're the one I want to repay my debt of gratitude to, Robert, not Mom and Dad. To be honest with you, they make me sick. Being unemployed despite being fully capable of working would be bad enough on its own. But now they're demanding I provide for them for the rest of their lives? What am I, freaking walking ATM? I can't get out of this house a moment too soon. Winston, come with me, bro. What do you say? I know this might sound weird coming from me after I relied on your money so much, but you have a right to be free of our deranged parents too. To tell you the truth, I've been thinking about it for a while. Here's how the plan looks right now. I'm thinking of quitting my job at the insurance company and going freelance once I get done with Mom and Dad's debt repayments. To put it simply, I'm thinking of making my side hustle my main job and focusing solely on that. I see. I guess me graduating med school ties into that too, since you won't be covering my tuition fees anymore. Your outgoings are going to drop down in one full swoop, so you'll be able to make things work with just one job. I like it. Yep, you pretty much nailed it. When I'm a freelancer, I'll be able to go anywhere I like since I'll be working 100% remotely. Anywhere? Basically, what that means is that no matter which hospital you end up working in, no matter which state you end up moving to, it'll always be possible for me to be close by. Oh yeah, you're right. Obviously, from my perspective, I'd appreciate if you chose somewhere with decent internet. Gotcha, bro. We only have about a year left before this becomes a reality. Yeah, let's make the necessary preparations. Got it.
Excuse me, Robert. You have 1 week to get your things together and get out of this house.
What the hell? Where did that come from?
Your little brother's a rich doctor now, so we don't need your pathetic high school dropout salary anymore.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
Do I have to spell it out, Dumbo? It means Winston will be looking after me and your dad from here on out, so you're no longer necessary. Get out of our lives and never come back.
Winston's gonna provide for you both as a medical intern? How the hell do you expect him to do that? That's not fair, my brother. He's about to enter the workforce, and with that, one of the toughest periods of his life will begin. You expect him to take care of you guys at home as well as the mountain of work responsibilities he's inevitably gonna end up with?
And what do you know about anything, you pitiful high school dropout? It might seem impossible to you because you earn breadcrumbs, but unlike you, Winston's actually going to have a respectable income. He's a doctor, you moron. I quit my job because with Winston's salary, I can get by without working.
Whoa. Say what now? You quit your job? No way. Did Dad quit too?
Of course he did. We recently got word that you got done paying off the last of our debts, so what with that and Winston finally becoming a doctor, we saw no need to continue. No matter how you look at it, there's zero need for either of us to work again for the rest of our lives. I take it your sulky tone means you understand, then? Fantastic. Now hurry up and start packing your things. Oh, one more thing. Me, Winston, and your father will all be going to the most luxurious sushi restaurant in town to celebrate him finally becoming a doctor. Make sure you come down to the restaurant to pay for our meals as soon as I message you, just like always, okay? Do I make myself clear?
Are you for real? You just kicked me out of the house and ordered me to get out of your lives forever. Why would I pay for your sushi? Are you insane?
Think of this as your final act of filial piety towards your parents who so very kindly raised you. It'll never make up for the monumental failure you became, but it's better than nothing. Make sure you have the money ready by tonight.
Do you mind if I say one last thing?
What is it?
Bye-bye. I'm taking Winston with me.
Huh?
Winston, you all ready? Yep, I'm already at the station like we agreed. Did Mom say anything to you about going out for sushi tonight? Sure, but I told her I can't go today because I have food poisoning. Wow, are they for real? They went to your congratulatory meal at the most expensive restaurant in town without you? No kidding. I'm not gonna complain though. The rotten personalities are giving us the perfect chance to make our escape. I never thought I'd say it, but just this one time, I'm grateful they're dicks. You're right. I'm so hyped, bro. I can't believe I finally get to escape their forced sushi nights. About that, my buddy from the old company knows a chef at that restaurant. Apparently, he said that he feels bad for you every time you go because they order the most expensive stuff on the menu for themselves, while you just sit there eating french fries all night. Were you holding back because you knew I was always the one paying? There's that, but there's also the fact I'm just not good with raw fish. I thought you knew. What can I say? I guess I really like their french fries. Oh, I see. Anyway, I'm about to head out on the next train. Sure thing. I'll follow you in like an hour, okay? Got it. See you at the next station. Roger that.
Robert! Are you there? Robert! What on earth did you just say to the chef at the sushi restaurant? He just told me you refused to pay because I said I never wanted to see you again.
Yes, that's exactly what I said. Did you need some kind of explanation? I'm not sure which part is hard to understand. You pretty much just disowned me, so I'll be leaving the house now and moving a long, long way away. Accordingly, paying for your luxury sushi is going to be a little difficult this time around. Anyway, didn't I just tell you to pay for your own damn meals? How are you surprised by any of this?
No, I can't. I just can't. Do you have any idea how much the bill came to? $1,600. Your father and I don't have that kind of money.
Yep, $1,600 sounds about normal. That's more or less what I was paying every time.
Huh?
Isn't it strange? Your worthless, good-for-nothing high school dropout son was able to pay every time without issue. But you and Dad are struggling?
Oh my God. Were you really paying this much every time? I had no idea it was so expensive.
Yep. Look on the bright side. At least Winston not being with you today should bring the total down a little. This is actually on the lower end of what I paid.
This is the lower end? Robert, how on earth do you have that much money?
Answer me this. How long do you think it's been since I started working?
What?
I've been working nonstop ever since I dropped out of high school. I've had promotions, gained qualifications, undergone transfers, and had lots of other extra allowances added to my salary along the way. When Winston started med school, I started working a side job to help cover his tuition fees. You didn't think I was still making the same money as I was at the convenience store. You didn't think I was still making the same money as I was at the convenience store I worked at when I dropped out of high school, did you?
Huh?
Now, Winston's done with med school. I'm also done paying off yours and Dad's debt, which, by the way, I had no obligation to pay off whatsoever, but did anyway out of the kindness of my heart. I don't need to make anywhere near as much money as I used to now, which is why I decided to quit my job and focus solely on what used to be my side job as a freelancer.
What's your side job?
Not telling you. I don't need you showing up on my doorstep begging, thanks.
Well, what about the bill for this sushi?
Like I said, pay for it yourself.
But we don't have the money.
Bye. Yo, Robert, I'm on the train right now, but I keep getting those damn messages from Mom complaining about how you won't pay the sushi bill. My God, is she seriously still harping on about that? I just left her on red. Nice. There's no need to dignify her with a response. Still, I gotta admit, I feel kind of bad for the sushi joint. I think I'm gonna ring my buddy and tell him to pass on an apology later on. Now, don't sweat it. Apparently Uncle Joe plans on paying this time around. I wonder if he actually will. Don't forget he was the one who lent Mom and Dad all that money back then. I wouldn't be surprised if he never wanted to give him another cent after how long it took him to get his money back. I came clean with everything this morning and finally told him it was me paying him back all along. To be honest, I'd be amazed if he dug them out of another hole after finding out they'd been lying to him for years. Jeez, bro. You sure know how to time things. Nice. Pure coincidence, I swear. Sure, we can go with that if you like. Seriously though, I wonder how they're gonna support themselves without either of us around now. Neither of them have jobs. Mom was 19 when they got shotgun married after falling pregnant with you, right? They've got a way to go until they get their pensions. They have no choice. They're gonna have to find new jobs. No kidding. Anyway, my train will be arriving soon. Alright, I'm sat on the bench at the platform. Let's head out of the station together. Yeah, how cool is this? Two brothers about to embark on their new lives in the big wide world together? I feel like an anime character. Cut it out, you weeb. You're in the real world now. You're right, though. I'm sure we're gonna face tons of challenges from here on out, but there's nothing we can't overcome together. Heck yeah. When I asked Uncle Joe about what became of the sushi incident later on, he explained that by some miracle, it turned out that my dad had just enough money left in his savings account to cover it, so they were allowed to leave the restaurant without cops being called. My old work buddy heard from the chef that the two of them are now officially banned from entering the restaurant for the rest of their lives. Apparently, he almost seemed overwhelmed with joy at the fact he'd never have to tolerate them again. I asked for what happened to our parents after that. They totally forgot I was the one who'd been paying the rent and utilities, which meant that before long, their electricity, gas, and water ended up being totally shut off. Apparently, the landlord's currently in the process of filling out the paperwork to have them forcibly removed. That's not all either. Being totally out of cash and being too lazy to work, they went into debt again. This time not with soft touch Uncle Joe, but with an underground loan shark who goes by the name of the Finger Snapper. Nobody heard from them after they got disowned by the entire family. Naturally, I have no intention of looking for them either.
Hey, Beth Ann. Is it true? Is it true you're getting remarried? I heard he was the up-and-coming hotshot son of the president of a major company who's set to take on his daddy's title of CEO one day. Are the rumors true? Hello, Arena. Sure, I guess he is technically going to be the CEO one day, but it's really not as glamorous as you make it sound. And the company's definitely not as major as you make it sound. But you will still be the CEO's wife, right? Right? I can't believe you lucked out this hard on your second marriage. I'm not gonna lie, babe, I am mega jealous. Go on, spill the beans. How did you seduce him? What's the secret to bagging yourself a high roller like that? I'm all ears. That's kind of a crass question, Arena. Would you mind not asking me stuff like that? If you must know, we met at work. We started out just as co-workers and, well, it just kind of developed from there. Oh, don't play dumb with me. You may have started out as co-workers, but you must have known he had prospects when you found out he was the president's son. You have your sights set on the title of CEO's wife, right? I didn't even know who his dad was until he proposed to me. You literally couldn't be any wider off the mark if you tried. I see. So, playing dumb was a part of your scheme right from the very start. I have to hand it to you, Beth Ann. You are more cunning than people give you credit for. I never had you down as such a schemer. You go, girl. You're wrong. It's not like that at all. Okay, dear. We can go with that if it makes you feel better. Anyway, I take it you'll be inviting me to the wedding, since we became such good friends after our boys met at kindergarten, right? Huh? The wedding? Of course! You'll be pulling out all the stops to make the wedding of a lifetime, I assume. I bet it'll be a ceremony so lavish, even royalty would feel jealous. He is the future CEO, after all. I mean, sure. Well, I guess we don't plan on making it super low budget or anything, but it's not like it's gonna be huge either. To tell you the truth, we're just planning on having a small ceremony with no one but friends and family, so we won't be inviting any of the moms from kindergarten, which, well, I'm sorry to say, means you won't be getting an invite. Wow, why such a tightwad? My fiancé has his own reasons for not wanting to go overboard. He's once divorced himself, and we both agreed that after all the pomp, ceremony, and, more importantly, stress of our first weddings, we're not really that bothered about going through the hassle again. Something smaller scale seemed best for the both of us. But Casey, the mom of one of the other boys in our boys' class, is going. I overheard her talking about it with some of the other moms in the courtyard outside the kindergarten, so don't even try and deny it. Why wouldn't you invite me when we're all part of the same kindergarten moms group? It's not fair of you to leave me out like this. I will not be ostracized. Casey's my sister-in-law. Her coming to the wedding has nothing to do with kindergarten. Huh? She's my little brother's wife. Surely you can see how that makes her family. I'm not leaving anyone out, I can assure you. Oh, really? She's your sister-in-law. Oh, well, my bad. I guess I kind of just assumed you already knew. Most of the other moms do. Really? I had no idea. I haven't invited any of the moms from kindergarten, and that's the truth. So I'm really sorry, but you won't be getting an invite. Fine, I'll give you some Tupperware. Huh? Tupperware? Be a darling and fill it with some of the luxury food from the buffet, won't you? If you do that, I'll forgive you. For the main course, I'll take meat. Make sure to fill it with plenty of mashed potatoes, too. I just love mashed potatoes. Whoa, what the? Are you kidding me? Come on, Arena, I can't do that. What? I'm kindly willing to compromise on not being invited to the wedding. And even this is too much for you? Taking food out of the wedding venue is banned for hygiene reasons. They explained the rules when we registered with them, and they were pretty clear about that one. Goodness gracious me. Would it really harm you to sneak some out? Everyone knows the rules at these places are nothing but formalities. No one expects you to actually follow them. And what exactly are you basing that on? Why would they have rules in place if they weren't supposed to be followed? No, Arena, this is ridiculous. I can't risk getting fined to get you a few slices of beef and some cold mashed potatoes. You know, I never had you down as being this kind of person, but it really is a shame what a tightwad you can be sometimes. That makes me a tightwad, does it? I can't believe it. You're a single mother fresh out of divorce court after your last husband found out you were cheating on him. What? But in spite of carrying around more baggage than a Boeing 737, you somehow managed to luck out and bag yourself a CEO. The least you could do is share some of your miraculous fortune with your friends, you penny-pinching tightwad. You won't have any friends left before long if you carry on like this. Arena, there's something you seem to be making a major misunderstanding about. Do you mind if I set the record straight? What? It wasn't me who cheated, it was my ex-husband. Huh? Hang on. Seriously? I see how it is. So this is why you've been looking down your nose at me this whole time and speaking to me like crap, isn't it? Based on a frickin' baseless misunderstanding? Wow. Oh, Oopsie, that reminds me, we don't have any cucumbers left. Excuse me, dear, I'll have to rush to the supermarket at once. See ya! Wow, you're unreal. Beth Ann, I haven't seen you around kindergarten at all lately, which means other than already knowing who your fiancé is and what kind of venue the wedding's being held at, I haven't been able to get any extra information, which means I had no choice but to follow you. So this is where you're tying the knot, huh? I gotta hand it to you, babe. It's a beautiful place. So this is where you two were planning to get married at today, was it? Well, I'm sorry, darling, but it's time for you to give me back the groom. I hate to break this to you on such short notice, but I'll be the one marrying your fiancé today. Beth Ann, you poor thing. It looks like the groom didn't turn up and your wedding got canceled, huh? I'm so sorry, dear. What can I say? I'm just too drop-dead gorgeous. No man on this planet can resist me. Just like I told you before, it was time for you to give me back the groom. I know this might be difficult for you to accept, but I want you to behave like a mature, responsible adult by letting go of him and struggling on with your life as a lonely single mother without bothering us ever again. Do you think you can do that for me, sweetie pie? Huh?
Arena, what's going on? I've been super busy all morning. I only just saw your messages. What do you mean by give you back the groom? I don't understand. What are you talking about?
Aha! There you are. Why, hello, Beth Ann. You sure were slow to notice. There's no going back now. We just got done with our 5th round of steamy, passionate lovemaking. That man really is a stallion.
I seriously don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about.
I did expect you to ask some questions, and I suppose answering them is the least I can do for you, since I did kind of destroy your entire life today. The groom at your wedding today is my ex-boyfriend.
Huh? Your ex-boyfriend?
I just so happened to catch sight of you and my ex-boyfriend walking around town all loved up not long after I heard you were set to get remarried. I was so shocked my jaw almost hit the floor, so I decided to do a little digging. I found out that my ex-boyfriend's dad was making his preparations to retire from his position as CEO at their industrial waste disposal company, meaning he's next in line as president. I knew this was finally my chance to marry into money by becoming the wife of a CEO, and I wasn't prepared to waste it. Which is why I doubled my investigative efforts, and after a little more digging, I found out where you guys were planning on getting married today.
Wow. Are you serious? You went to all those lengths? That's not normal. I'm so disgusted right now, I can't even find the words to express it.
There's no use in getting all hysterical and panicking now, dear. Your wedding today already got canceled, right?
What are you talking about? No, it didn't.
Lies, lies. Come on, Beth Ann, you can't hide from reality any longer. Wake up and smell the coffee. We just got back together and went at it like rabbits in the hotel next door.
Excuse me?
We're still together now, of course.
Hang on a sec. You have a husband, don't you? You're not divorced, are you?
Don't be jealous just because I'm a hit with the boys and you're not, babe. It's so not attractive.
That's not what I mean. I mean, you're cheating on your husband. You have the nerve to accuse me of cheating while being completely wrong, and then you go off and have an affair of your own? What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, I've heard enough of your jealous prattling now. How about you put a lid on that whining foghorn mouth of yours and just be happy for me and your man instead? I get you must be incredibly salty at missing out on your long-awaited chance to bag yourself a rich, high-flying CEO and being guaranteed absolute financial security for the rest of your life. But that's your problem, sweetie, not mine. Just give up on him, okay?
Listen to me, Irina. Today's wedding went by without a hitch, and me and my husband are now officially married.
Huh?
We're about to head to the after party.
Wait a minute, what the?
Irina, who the hell are you cheating on your husband with?
You know, this is getting sad now. Why not just accept reality already? It'll be a lot less painful for you in the long run. Gotta go. My big hunky stallion is calling me back into bed. Time for round 6. Toodles!
Irina, wait!
Hello, Beth Ann, dear. It's been a while. Guess what? Me and your ex-fiancé are officially getting married. I haven't seen you at the kindergarten in months, so I had no choice but to go out of my way to bring you the good news on here. The divorce proceedings with my current husband are finally looking like they're about to go through. This pretty much already makes me the CEO's wife. I'm so happy.
Hello, Irina. Long time no speak. The reason you haven't been seeing me around the kindergarten is because I moved to another town to live with my husband after the wedding.
Huh?
Of course, my son came with me and now goes to a different kindergarten. So I'd say the chances of me and you ever seeing each other again are pretty slim.
What? You've got to be joking me. Don't say such crazy things, babe. I know for a fact you didn't get married. How could you when I stole the groom?
You totally ignored me back when I told you this before, so allow me to repeat myself. Mine and my husband's wedding went by without a hitch, and we're happily married now. Who the hell do you think you stole from me?
What do you mean, who? My ex-boyfriend, Jeremy, of course.
Huh? Jeremy?
Yes, Jeremy. We were high school sweethearts. We started dating in our second year after he came over and introduced himself to me in chemistry class.
Oh, him?
He's my brother-in-law. Huh? Your brother-in-law? Ah, I see. No way. So that's where he went on the day of the wedding. What? What are you talking about? I didn't marry Jeremy, I married Jamie, his identical twin brother. His identical twin brother? Yep. You mean you didn't know? I'm actually pretty impressed that you managed to be his girlfriend and not find out about him. I get that it was a long time ago, and you could be forgiven for mistaking them for one another since they're identical twins and all, but that doesn't justify cheating. What you're doing is just plain wrong, Arena. Whatever, that's irrelevant. Jeremy is at least the one who'll be inheriting their father's company, right? Right? No, that's Jamie. Oh my God. Jeremy was always the black sheep of the family. He got in with a bad crowd, started doing drugs, went to jail for armed robbery, and eventually got disowned by their parents. Drugs? Armed robbery? Disowned? We were slightly concerned he might try showing up at our wedding with all of their relatives being gathered there 5 months ago. When he didn't show up, we figured he didn't care enough to, and that we'd been worrying for nothing. But now it all makes sense. I see. So he did go to the venue, he just didn't end up gate crashing the whole thing because he ran into you outside by coincidence, huh? I guess he found himself powerless to resist the advances of his ex-girlfriend and agreed to go with you to the hotel. And that's why we never saw him? I guess we owe you a thank you. Oh, there's one more thing you should know. Jeremy's in mountains of debt. What? Something tells me things are about to get really rough for you. Oh my God! Bethann, help! What am I supposed to do? I don't have any money. My ex-husband is demanding a ridiculous amount of compensation from me, but I don't have any money. I thought Jeremy would be able to pay it all off because he was in line to become the president of his dad's company. Oh my God, I couldn't have been more wrong. I have no idea how he managed to come up with the cash on such short notice despite already being in crazy amounts of debt, but Jeremy immediately paid off his half of the compensation and refused to help me with mine. He said I have to come up with the money myself somehow. Oh, and he's not just in mountains of debt. It also turned out he's been seeing 3 other girls behind my back. He dumped me. To make matters worse, my ex-husband flat out refused to remarry me, and on top of charging me compensation, he won custody of our son, blocked my number, took my boy, and moved out of state. I can't get through to my parents, and besides, I doubt that they'd help me after all this time, even if I could. Please, Bethann, I have no one else to rely on. I am so alone. I can't believe I have to come up with all of this money on my own. Bethann, what am I supposed to do? I feel so lost. Hello? Bethann, are you there? Bethann, please respond. Stop leaving my messages on read. Ugh! I was a little confused when my phone suddenly started blowing up with notifications, but it turned out to be Arena's desperate pleas for help. I did feel a little sorry for her for about a millionth of a second, but I figured nothing good could possibly come of replying to her, so I let her carry on in the hopes she'd realize the futility of messaging me and give up. When the messages calmed down, I blocked her. As for what happened after that, apparently Jeremy, my disgraced brother-in-law, in his desperation to get a hold of the compensation money he owed Arena's ex-husband, borrowed some money from some very bad people. I can't say for sure, but something tells me that might be why he suddenly disappeared and no one's heard from him in months. As for Arena, she incessantly begged for money in the kindergarten moms group chat, but was promptly told in no uncertain terms to get lost and stick her whining where the sun don't shine. Last I heard, there have been multiple sightings of her going into the seedy, run-down hotel by the station with a bunch of different guys recently. I hope she hasn't gone into that line of work, but to be honest, since I'll never see or hear from her again, I'm just gonna forget about the whole thing and focus on enjoying my own life.
Trinity? Could you tell me the reason why you and your husband were in my room earlier? If you guys are planning to stay the night here, would you both please go to the guest bedroom? Oh, hi, Ari. I was surprised that you actually went outside the house for once, but I guess you're home now. This place is my home, so of course I'd be coming back. Now, could you and your husband please come here and get your things out of my room? What? What's wrong with us wanting to be in there? Do you really think it's a bad thing that my husband and I want to get a taste of what this room feels like in this penthouse here? Then go to the guest bedroom. It has the same view as my room, but the only difference is that it's not already occupied. We only just put our stuff down in there, though. You really think you can just come into this house and do as you please? I'm sorry, but my bed is off limits to anyone else, as it was specifically made to my needs. I get that it's comfy, but it's not meant for you. Oh? So you found out what I was really after in that room then? Well, if you chose my room over the guest bedroom, the only real difference is the bed, so that was pretty obvious to me. If you and your husband do anything in that bed while I'm out of the house, I am telling you right now that you'll both be charged $10,000 to get me a new one. $10,000 is what you paid for that? You really expect me to believe something like that? I hope you do, considering that's the price I had to pay. So come and get your things right now. The fact that everything always has to be about you is so annoying. Ari, you've really gone and done it this time. What did I do? You went and took some of my money out of my purse, right? Huh? I am not in that much of a need for money where I do something like that to my own sister. Yeah, sure. That's probably because you're always taking mom and dad's money like some thieving parasite. What did you say? What are you talking about? The other day, I was in your bedroom, right? Well, I had accidentally left my purse in there when you kicked my husband and I out. So when I went in there to grab it today, there should have been around $500 in it, but there was only $200. Huh? I don't know what happened to your money. Actually, I never even saw that your purse was left in my room these past couple of days. Did you really forget to take it out of my bedroom the other day? That's what I expected the criminal to start saying next. I already had a talk with both mom and dad, and they told me they never went into your room. So that would mean while my purse was forgotten about in your room, you found it and took $300 out of it before putting it back where I had forgotten it. This is so stupid. So you're not going to confess to any of it? Hey, Trinity, could all of this be happening because you want to start living in my penthouse? We are not talking about your penthouse right now. This is about that money which was in my purse. I want you to give me back that $300 you stole from me first before we talk about anything else here. I told you I don't know what happened to your money. Jeez, Ari, this is exactly the reason for why you're 40 years old and can't get married still, right? Now, what does that have to do with anything? You know what a lot of people call women like you. They call you a middle-aged woman still living in her nursery room. Huh? You don't work any kind of a job and you live off the money your parents make. A 40-year-old useless shut-in. I have a job, though. You have no idea how hard it is to make money in this world and probably still think it just grows on trees or something. And that's why you ended up stealing my money from my purse. I have told you 3 times now, I don't know anything about that purse. It's so upsetting that a woman in her 40s had to steal money from her little sister. For Christ's sake. So you have no interest in actually listening to anything I have to say, do you? I'm not going to think of some money-stealing criminal woman as my older sister anymore, so it's over between you and I. I'm cutting ties to you. From now on, my husband and I will be living in this penthouse. It kind of sucks that mom and dad are still going to be living here with us, but that will only last a couple more years before they both croak. And while they're still around, they'll make for 2 great housekeepers. So this is goodbye to you, Ari. Have fun on the streets now after you're kicked out of this place. I knew this is what you were wanting. I have to say, the fact that you've already lived close to half of your life and have still not gotten a taste of the real world is really disappointing. So hopefully, kicking you out of this penthouse once and for all helps you grow a little. Aren't you embarrassed to be 40 now and still not have any experience working for a company? And that's not even as bad as how ashamed you should be feeling for stealing $300 out of my purse. I'm not unemployed, and I was not the one that stole your money. But if this is how you want to play this game, then I'll play along with you. I'll be out of this place as soon as possible.
Good. I will praise you on the fact that you came around to accepting your crimes pretty quickly there. I want you out of this penthouse in 1 hour, all right? Once again, I'm going to have to praise you for getting all your things together and moving out of this house in under an hour. Honestly, hearing praise from someone like you gives me the opposite feeling of being happy. I'm sure you're dying on the inside right now, right? That's right. That bet of yours, the $10,000 one. I'll be taking it now. So what you mean is you'll be paying me $10,000 to take it, right? What are you going on about? It wasn't even you that paid for the bet in the first place. It was Dad that got this thing for you. Excuse me? Really? Knowing about how you forced Dad to buy you this kind of an expensive bed, even though he was already paying for you to eat and sleep in this house, is really sly of you. And that pisses me off a little. I cannot believe that for the past 2 years, ever since you completely shut yourself into this place, you've done nothing but take advantage of others and make things all about yourself. You've received enough of everyone's money now, right? From now on, it's my turn to lay back and enjoy this fancy penthouse while Mom and Dad pay for my husband and I. Trinity, you really have no idea what you've gotten yourself into. Wait, it's more like you've just forgotten everything about what happened a few years ago. Trying to threaten me by saying some really vague and stupid things like that aren't going to scare me away. Don't you ever come back here, all right? Bye-bye. I'll hold you to that then. Ari! Hey! What is this about this place costing $16,000 a month to live in? This penthouse has already been paid off by Dad now, right? He just came up to me and said that if I want to start living here with my husband forever, then we'll need to start paying the rent. And what's this about you having been the one paying the rent this whole time? What's Dad even going on about right now? How could a jobless parasite like you have had the money to afford a place like this? I told you I'm not unemployed, Trinity. And if you'd like a little more detail into what I'm doing for work, I'm running a decently sized company as the CEO. Stop lying, you idiot! Mom already told me about how you never leave the house except for maybe a couple of times a month. That's because I'm normally working remotely from my bedroom. And the only reason I really have to leave the house at all is to go to the office building and hold meetings or talk with some customers in person. That's what Mom meant by that. Now, listen here. We are not living in the 20th century anymore. This is the 21st century now, where people can be employed yet not ever have to leave their home. And recently, due to a lot of world events, companies have been more open to letting their employees work from home instead of having to make any commute into the office. I don't need to listen to you talking about all that crap. And another thing, Trinity, has your mental health gotten any better? I ask that because it seems that you've only gotten worse when it comes to how you twist situations to your benefit, so that you never have to listen to anything others are saying to you. Did you stop going to see that therapist or something? Come on! I had thought this whole time that Dad bought this amazing penthouse with the money he got from his pension after he left his company and retired. So you forgot what happened with Dad then when he retired? Come back here already, Ari! I can't do that. Remember that I'm holding you to your word now? And that word was you saying for me to never return there again. But there's nobody here that can afford to pay this kind of rent. Well, then you should have actually been listening to me. Shut the hell up. Ari! Both Mom and Dad left the penthouse. They even took all the things that were left over in your room and left. There's not a single person in this house that can help pay for the rent now. My husband's been telling me over and over again that he's not earning enough to pay for this place. $16,000 is way too crazy for him and I to afford. Well, it's not like you'll be paying it anyway, considering that this is the last month you can live in that penthouse. After that, the lease will be finished and you both will have to leave. What? I made sure to end my lease there a while ago, and this was the last month before the landlord said he'd be placing the penthouse back on the market. If you want to continue living there, then you'll have to apply for the place and hope you're accepted. But of course, that'll mean you both have to start paying rent. What the hell are you talking about? It's only been 2 years since you, Mom, and Dad moved into this place, right?
I know that. And from the very beginning, we only really were planning to stay there for around 2 years.
Why would you only want to stay for that short period of time?
Ugh, Trinity, because of you, Mom and Dad were no longer able to live in the house they had before. You know, the one you and I both grew up in? You seriously forgot literally everything that happened back then?
What?
You went and forced one of your former classmates to give up their husband and let you take him, right? And, well, that former classmate of yours, Grandpa, just so happened to be the technical owner of the land Mom and Dad's house was on. That man ended up getting very, very upset with you and the family and forced both Mom and Dad out of their house to have it torn down. And then he went and sold the land to someone else. But before he could do that, Dad was forced by him to pay for the house's demolition and for the land to be cleaned up, which cost Dad most of his retirement and all.
What the hell? How?
So that's what happened with you. You didn't forget about what happened, rather you just never cared about how it would later affect your parents.
But Ari...
I told Mom and Dad that I could step in and pay off the settlement that was being asked from them by your former classmate and her parents. But they told me it wasn't any of my responsibility. So I thought, at the very least, I would take Mom and Dad, who had lost their house at the fault of you, and I would put them in a penthouse with me, since the both of them had always wanted to live in one of the skyscrapers downtown. So after they had paid all their dues that you caused, they came to me and we moved into the penthouse together. Mom and Dad were in tears about what I was giving them, and I asked them how long they wanted to live there, and they both agreed on 2 years.
So that's why your lease is over with now?
Although I'm kind of surprised that Mom and Dad even allowed you to come over to my penthouse after all your cheating husband and thieving self had done to them.
Huh?
Are you aware why Mom and Dad were both living with me in that penthouse now? Because of all that you'd done. And if you'd like to know, the only reason you and your husband were actually allowed past security is because I allowed it.
What the? I had always thought that Mom and Dad were so happy to pay off that settlement for me, and then chose to buy that penthouse with Dad's retirement after I left. And that you forced your way into there after leaving the part-time job you had and making them pay for all your needs. I thought that if Mom and Dad could afford a penthouse like that and pay for a full-grown woman like you, then they really were rich, and that got me all excited.
Well, in reality, all of this was forced to happen because of what you'd done, and it was rough for all of us since. I really thought you already knew about everything that happened since you were the cause of all of it. I would really like to know what's inside that massive head of yours. It can't be considered a true brain or anything by any form of scientific method, can it? And this is why Mom and Dad were asking you to please go and see a therapist.
I never thought my own sister would say that about me. Hey, can you tell me where Mom and Dad moved to?
Not happening.
Why not?
Because they've both demanded that I never tell you.
Then where have you moved to, Ari? I'm sure that things are so lonely for a single 40-year-old woman, right? My husband and I will come live with you to help make you feel better.
What a freaking joke. I'm not even single anymore.
What? You got married without telling me?
That's right.
Then how about you let my husband and I live there and we can all be a happy double couple family?
I don't want you causing any trouble for my husband, so I'm not telling you where I live.
No way.
How about you stop acting like everything's about you and get real, Trinity? You have now not only been disowned by both Mom and Dad, but you've also lost the privilege of calling me your older sister.
What?
Honestly, something like this should have happened a lot sooner. I think right after you stole that man away from someone else and married him, while also causing both Mom and Dad to lose their home and money, we all should have cut ties to you. Maybe Mom and Dad both thought that after a few years you'd change, but considering the kind of freak you are mentally, there is no way you'd get any better. You didn't even bother going through more therapy, instead just making up a plan to have me kicked out of the house by saying I stole your money. Ugh, there's no hope for you anymore. You're not going to be living in that penthouse for much longer, and you won't be finding any of us.
Wait, the apartment my husband and I had been living in before, we ended the lease on it, so
Well, that penthouse's lease is also ending, so find somewhere new to live from now on. But there's nowhere left we can go! Make sure you're out of there before the end of this month. Goodbye forever. Wait a second, Ari! We can figure something out for me. Trinity and I are 10 years apart in age, which means she's 30 years old now, yet you probably would never be able to guess that by the way she acts so much like a selfish and spoiled brat. Ever since I can remember, she's always been wanting the things I had. But who could have seen her behavior getting any worse to the point she'd go after other people's things, like their husband? And it's a bit more than 2 years since that happened. These last 2 years, my parents and I have done our best to move past the horrible memories she implanted in us. But after thinking she'd be back a better person, she only proved to us that her mental health was not fixable. And because of that, she's no longer a part of this family. On the day her and her husband had to leave that penthouse, they got into this huge fight that led to their divorce. But the issue there was that my sister had no money at all, so she couldn't afford to even rent the most basic of places. Therefore, she had to contact my rather hard ass of an aunt, who came and picked her up to move out with them and work on their farm. Our aunt went ahead and made a deal with Trinity, which was that by working on her farm and paying my parents back every cent they lost because of her 2 years ago, she would not have to be abandoned by the rest of the larger family as well. Seems that her life of having no money at all is going to continue on for a couple more years now. Hey, Mom, will you be home late again today? Dad made stew for supper again. Oh, he did? You will eat some when you get home this time, right? Listen, Emily, I need you to pass on a message to your dad. Tell him to quit doing things for me without asking. It's downright irritating. Huh? What kind of attitude is that? Surely you mean, thanks for making my supper. I get that he's bored and has nothing but free time on his hands after retiring, but I'd rather he didn't pretend like we were this happy, loved-up couple. If I'm honest, he's been nothing but a thorn in my side lately. Pretend what? Don't forget that I'm the one working long hours and putting food on the table for us all now. I am the breadwinner of this family. All your dad does is eat, sleep, and laze around the house, so he sure as heck isn't in any position to be complaining at me. What are you talking about? Isn't the fact that Dad's able to live off his pension now proof that he worked hard all his life? What's wrong with him taking it easy after all he's done for us? I don't understand. You're a hard-working career woman, and I think that's something to be proud of, but at the same time, I think you should be more respectful with the way you speak about Dad. Good grief, I don't need a lecture from the likes of you. So, you're taking his side in all of this, are you? This isn't about taking sides, Mom. What are we, 6-year-olds? Both you and Dad have worked hard to provide for this family. It's not a competition. I fail to see the problem with Dad relaxing and living off his pension after working his ass off for over 50 years. In 10 more years, you'll be retiring and doing the same yourself, right? I'm not saying you should get on your knees and thank him for his efforts, but surely you could at least not be so disrespectful towards him. Yeah, whatever. Is the sermon over now? If you'll excuse me, I'm surrounded by mountains of invoices and they aren't going to complete themselves. Unlike your father, some of us have work to do. I'll be eating in the office cafeteria tonight, so I won't be needing your dad's crummy stew. Wow, I see how it is. You didn't take in a single word of what I just said, did you? And are you seriously insulting his stew now, too? Ugh. You know, Mom, you're seriously starting to rile me up. I suggest you reevaluate the way you talk about my dad, and soon.
Hey, Emily, my sweet, delicious honey pie. Is now a good time? There's something I need to check with you.
Good morning, Chester, my rugged love muffin. It's not like you to message me this early. What's up?
Well, did your mom sleep away from the house last night by any chance? Or was she at home with you and your dad?
My mom? Apparently there was some trouble at the office that made her miss the last train, and she couldn't get a hold of a taxi without waiting over an hour. So she decided to sleep at a hotel near her company. She should be going straight to work from the hotel today.
I see. Is that what she told you?
Yes.
This kind of thing has become pretty common ever since she got that promotion. To be honest, if anything, it's more unusual for her to be at home these days. She's the manager of a new department, so apparently she's constantly burdened with huge amounts of responsibility, and overtime has practically become part of her regular working hours.
I see.
What is it? Do you know something about my mom?
Well, it's just that... To be honest, I was hesitating about whether to mention this to you, what with me and you getting married next month. I thought maybe the timing was a bit off. But then kicking the can down the road ain't gonna do anyone any favors either.
Huh? If there's something bugging you, then you should tell me.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry for dragging it out. I bet I sound crazy dramatic right about now. To be honest with you, it's pretty heavy.
To tell you the truth, I think my mom's been acting weird for a while now. I get the impression she's hiding something from me and my dad, so if you know anything, I'd like to hear it.
You do? I see.
Yep, and I'm not the only one. My dad's feeling pretty anxious over the way she's behaving too, so go on, tell me.
Your dad too? Huh. Damn. In that case, I really should tell you. All right, babe, I'll tell you. I'm serious, though. It's heavy. You might want to sit down for this one.
Okay, I'm ready.
The thing is, I think your mom might be having an affair.
What?
You know that big, flashy, extravagant hotel that looks like a castle I go past on my way to work?
Yeah, the one with a reputation for being seedy and attracting a less than respectable clientele?
Bingo. Well, the thing is, last night on my way home from work, I just so happened to see your mom going in there with one of my coworkers.
Whoa, what the heck? Hang on a sec. How old is your coworker?
Same age as me.
What? Oh my god, are you serious? I'm shocked enough that she's having an affair, but to think she's cheating on my dad with someone old enough to be her son? That's disgusting.
If she wasn't married, there wouldn't be an issue. I mean, it'd still be kind of weird, but if it made them happy, then who would we be to comment, right? Of course, she is married, though. And that's not all. Your dad isn't the only one being cheated on here. My coworker is married. With kids.
Oh my god, he's married too?
I'm sorry, babe. I know how shocking this is.
It's fine. I appreciate you telling me. Should I tell my dad about this? He might have some questions for you if I do.
That's fine. I don't mind.
Alright, got it. I'm sorry to trouble you like this. Knowing what my dad's like, I wouldn't be surprised if he hired a private investigator to gather evidence for him.
Got it. I'm happy to go along with whatever your dad decides he wants to do. I should probably tell my mom and dad about it too. They think you're amazing though, so don't worry. It won't make them opposed to the wedding or anything like that.
Okay, I'm sorry. And thank you, Chester. Mom, I didn't see you this morning and now you're not even at the church? Where the hell are you? Mom, how about you answer the frickin' phone? What do you want? My phone is blowing up because of you, you silly girl. Answer me. Where are you? At work, obviously. I'm always at work. Why even bother asking questions you already knew the answer to? You're at work today? Yes, I had to come in on my day off due to some trouble at the office. This has been decided since last week. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy at work, so quit bugging me. I might have to stay at the office again tonight, so if you don't hear from me again, that's why. So you're at work, are you? Yes. Now, if you understand, you can stop messaging me now. Mom, sorry to bug you while you're away having an affair, but today is my wedding day. Huh? Oh, you forgot, huh? Fine, I've heard enough now. This conversation is over. What the? No! Wait a second, dear. Wasn't your wedding supposed to be next week? No, next week's when we leave for the honeymoon. Wait, seriously? Don't bother showing up at the church today. I think you'd sorely regret it if you did.
You see, I'm currently in the process of apologizing to everybody, including our relatives and Chester's entire family, for your absence. You're doing what now? Rest assured, I'm telling everybody exactly why you're not here, because you're on vacation having an affair with your lover. What the hell do you think you're playing at, you silly little girl? Do you have any idea how much damage you'll do to my reputation? I'm just relieved that Chester's parents were kind and big-hearted enough to understand that your despicable behavior isn't a reflection on me and didn't change their minds on giving us their blessing for the wedding. Stop, I'm on my way to the church. The wedding will be over by the time you get here. Huh? What do you mean? It would take you 3 hours to drive out all this way. Even if you left right this instant, you still wouldn't come close to making it on time. What? How the hell do you know that? Because Dad hired a private investigator who found out which hotel you and your lover are staying at. A private investigator? Has he lost his mind? He already found out about how your lover is one of your clients from another company. In fact, we've known for a while now. Oh my God, this can't be happening. Whatever you do now, it's too little, too late, so you may as well give up. I'm sorry to spoil your cheater's vacation with Loverboy, Mom. I feel bad. You were so excited about it you forgot your own daughter's wedding. How about you just forget about this whole thing and enjoy your time away? Your lover is obviously far, far more important to you than me and Dad ever were. Oh my God, Emily, please. I still have some preparations to make for the wedding. Bye. Emily, oh my God. Do you know where your dad went? I can't find him anywhere. He's not at the house. What do you want? I just canceled my vacation and came home, but all of your dad's things are gone and he's nowhere to be seen. Wow, you only just noticed? What do you mean, only just? How long has he been gone? Dad started moving his things a week ago. A week ago? He left a set of signed divorce papers in a folder containing all the proof of your affair with me this morning. You'll find them on the living room table. Oh, and he obviously has separate copies of the evidence, so destroying it won't accomplish anything. Dad felt awful about asking me to deal with something so crappy on my wedding day, and to be honest, I felt awful about how awful he felt. That said, I felt I had an obligation to take them to the house. In my mind, it was my way of declaring the end of our relationship and making the mental preparations to remove you from my life. Remove me from your life? What on earth are you talking about, Emily? Don't say such crazy things. How is it crazy? This was obviously going to happen. How did you think I'd react to finding out my mom was having an affair with a guy twice her age? How did you think I'd react to you being so wrapped up in your affair that you'd forget your own daughter's wedding day? You disgust me. Oh my God, what are you even saying? This is no way to speak to your mother. You mean the same mother whose cheater's vacation was more important to her than my wedding? You betrayed me, Mom. Do you have any idea how I felt? Do you have any idea how Dad feels after you betrayed him by cheating on him with some pipsqueak office nerd half his age after he spent his entire life doing backbreaking manual labor to provide for you and this family? That's, Oh, and let's not forget your lover's wife. Do you have any idea how she feels? Do you have any idea how any of us feel? The answer is no, isn't it? Because you don't care. What am I even supposed to say to that? It's okay to admit you're a narcissistic manipulator who doesn't give a rat's ass about other people. We're cutting you out of our lives for good now anyway, so it's not like it makes any difference. You're cutting me out of your lives? Make no mistake, though, you will pay for what you did to us, you lying, cheating waste of space. You can't escape from the hellfire that's about to rain down on you, you despicable witch. Pay? Goodbye. Emily, please. You have to tell your dad to withdraw this compensation claim. There's no way I can afford to pay all this. Has he lost his mind? I already lost my job. My boss found out I was giving Chad preferential treatment on our business contracts to keep him happy so he wouldn't break up with me. In a certain sense, I'm the victim in all this. My asshole boyfriend's the one who's in the wrong for making sexual advances against me to get ahead at work. Hello? Are you looking at these messages? I can see the tick mark. Stop ignoring me. Emily, please, I'm begging you. Isn't there some way we can make all of this go away? I feel terrible about what I did. Simply terrible. Honestly, I don't know what came over me and made me act so stupidly. I'm begging you, won't you please talk to your father? Won't you make him see sense? He'll listen to you. Won't you tell him to forgive me, please? Oh, pretty please, with a cherry on top? Ugh, I'm begging you. You have to save our marriage, darling. Emily, why won't you answer my calls? Why are you ignoring my messages? Don't I at least deserve a reply? I'm your mother. I am the victim in all this, goddammit. You're my daughter. Surely you understand how none of this is my fault. Emily! I didn't have the energy to respond to any of my mom's crap, so I tried to pretend I blocked her. Unfortunately, she wasn't as tech illiterate as I'd hoped, and she realized I could see her messages when she saw the tick marks, meaning I had no choice but to actually block her before the notifications drove me insane. The next day, just to be safe, I got a new number. True to form as the most stubborn person I've ever known, she refused to agree to the divorce for a whole 6 months, constantly insisting that she, and not my dad, was the victim in all of this. Eventually, my mom's brother, my uncle, lost his patience and gave her a furious lecture said to be so loud it could be heard from 5 blocks away. And with that, she finally agreed to sign the divorce papers. To my surprise, she even paid my dad all of the compensation he asked for in one lump sum. Who knows, maybe she does have a conscience after all. I wouldn't bet on it, though. Newly single and afraid of being alone, my mom did try showing up at her ex-lover's place after finding out his wife had also divorced him. But unfortunately for my mom, he had found himself a new girlfriend during the 6 months she'd spent fighting the divorce. And it was at that moment that the grave reality that he'd been using her as a tool to advance his career truly sunk in. With that, consumed with jealous rage, she transformed into a feral beast and launched an attack on them as they went out for a meal at a restaurant one evening. I don't know the details, but I do know that the police were called and charges were filed. As for me, Chester, and my dad, all we can say is thank God we cut her out of our lives. Life's too short to keep toxic people like my ex-mom around. Here's to the future.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Drew, I just arrived at the hotel for the trip.
Oh, it's you. Are you enjoying yourself so far? How's the place?
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. The room here is even bigger than my apartment. I'm already feeling so relaxed. I can just imagine how comfortable it's going to be to unwind here. It's funny, but family trips are nice, of course, but, trips with my close mom friends have their own special vibe. It's such a different kind of fun and relaxation.
I'm glad to hear that. By the way, I was thinking I should mention something to you.
What's going on?
Tomorrow, I might not be able to check my phone as much.
Oh? What's happening? Is work getting in the way?
Yeah, kind of. It's gonna be a bit of a hectic day, and it looks like it might turn into a big thing. I'll be pretty tied up. Oh, and Amy's staying with my parents for the day, so that's all arranged. I don't have to worry about her while I'm busy.
Ah, I see. Got it. Sounds like a packed day ahead.
Yeah, exactly. So don't worry about me. Everything on this end is fine.
Okay, understood. I won't bother you then.
By the way, who exactly is with you on this trip? Just curious.
Oh, it's Smiley's mom and Bree's mom. Is that a problem?
Not really. I was just confirming. Just checking who's with you, that's all.
Ah, gotcha. Well, I'm off to grab dinner with my friends, so I'll catch you later. And don't forget, I'll bring back some cool souvenirs for you. I can't wait to see your face when you get them.
Yeah, don't have too much fun without me, all right? But seriously, don't go overboard and get too crazy.
Drew, I'm home. I just got to the station.
Welcome back!
Sorry it's a little later than I thought. I didn't plan on it taking this long, but I'm really sorry about the delay. By the way, I was wondering, could you come pick me up? I've got a ton of luggage, and it's kind of too much for me to handle on my own.
You have that much stuff with you?
Yeah, well, you know me. I can't resist buying souvenirs. I kept thinking, oh, this one's perfect, and that one too. Now I've ended up with more than I can carry, and it's kind of a mess.
I'm sorry, but I might have had a bit to drink before I realized the time.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, it's just this thing I do after a bath, I usually have one drink to unwind. It's just part of my routine, and I didn't think much of it. But then after I had it, I realized, oh no, I might be late.
I totally get it. I mean, I ended up running late too, so it's no big deal. You know what? I'll just grab a taxi and head home myself. You don't have to worry about it.
Sorry about that. I feel bad, but thanks for understanding.
Hey, Drew. Are you away right now? I've been calling for ages and I'm starting to get a little worried. Can you pick up, please? I can't hear the phone ringing from inside the house. Did you put it on silent or set it to vibrate? Is that what's going on right now? I'm starting to wonder if you're just ignoring me.
Oh, wait, did you get here?
Yeah, I'm here now, but the key, well, it's not fitting into the lock properly. I don't get it. What's going on? Do you think maybe my key's broken or something? It's just stuck.
Wait, hold on. I didn't mention this to you, did I? I actually moved yesterday.
What? Wait, hold on. You moved? Why didn't you tell me? What do you mean you moved?
You remember when I told you about the chaotic big move the day before yesterday? That's what it was. I really didn't get the chance to tell you the full details, but yeah, I moved.
Wait. Didn't you tell me you had work to do? You were busy, right?
I mean, moving itself is like a full-time job. It's a lot of work. I did mention it in passing, but I guess I didn't go into specifics. I figured you'd understand.
Hold on, stop right there. How could you forget to tell me something this huge? How could you not mention it? This is massive, and you just didn't think to mention it? Even if this is some weird surprise, it doesn't make sense to do something so big without giving me a heads up. It's just not right.
A surprise? Well, now that you mention it, I suppose calling it a surprise would make sense, but wait, that's not the point. This isn't just a surprise, it's a huge change.
What is going on with you? What are you even trying to pull here? Okay, fine. What's the new address? Where are you living now? Tell me now so I can come to see you. Don't leave me hanging here. I've had enough of this uncertainty. I'm really ready to just rest.
No, I'm not gonna tell you.
What? What do you mean you're not going to tell me? Are you serious right now? Why are you being so difficult?
I don't think you're getting it.
Wait. No, now I get it. You're hiding something, aren't you? You're seeing someone else.
What are you talking about? Are you seriously going to accuse me of something like that?
You're cheating on me, aren't you? This whole move, everything you've done, it's all so you can live with her, isn't it? Some woman you've been hiding from me?
Why do you always jump to such conclusions? Seriously, where is this coming from?
Because, Drew, how else can I explain this? Who is she? Who's the one you've been sneaking around with? I need to know.
Hold on a second. Just because you think this way doesn't mean I'm doing the same thing. You can't just assume that.
What? Are you saying that I'm the one cheating? Are you saying that I'm the one who's been unfaithful? That is completely absurd. That's not true.
Ah, I get it now. So this isn't about cheating, it's an affair?
What?
Yeah, it's not technically cheating, but it's an affair, isn't it? If someone who's married goes and has a relationship with someone else, it's called an affair. I'm just saying that's a much more fitting term for what's been going on.
Wait, hold on. What are you even talking about?
Actually, this trip you went on, it's literally a textbook example of what an affair looks like. You can't even pretend that wasn't what it was.
What?
A 2-night, 3-day trip, huh? Was that fun? It must have been quite an exciting time for you, right? So much fun while I was left in the dark.
Hold on, wait, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh, wait, I know. I hate it when I speak vaguely, don't I? Fine, I'll be clear this time. Let's stop playing games. Listen, you've been seeing someone else. Bry's father. That's right, Eleanor's husband. You didn't think I knew? This whole trip was timed perfectly for when Eleanor was going to visit her parents, wasn't it? And you brought Miley along, who's also been having an affair with her boss. What a nice little double affair trip you two planned.
What the hell? Who told you these things? You're just repeating whatever you've heard without even considering it. Are you serious? Don't just believe whatever nonsense gets thrown at you. This is a huge deal, and you're just jumping to conclusions like this? You don't get to move out because of this. You are messing with my life, Drew. How could you do this to me? You're divorcing me, but you better believe I'll be getting alimony from you, and I am not backing down. No splitting up assets, nothing. I am keeping what's mine. Amy's custody? That's mine, and you can't take that away from me. And don't even think about avoiding child support because I'll be getting it from you.
You think this is gonna be easy, don't ya?
Well, it's too late for your apologies. Don't even bother trying now. What the hell is this? Is this some kind of joke?
This is a picture Eleanor sent me. It's a photo she provided as proof.
Wait, hold on. This can't be real.
This photo shows Lenore's husband bringing you into his house. I know because it's the exact same spot I saw you two together.
How do you even have this?
Well, there's a pet surveillance camera in the living room. She didn't even tell her husband about it. And guess what? It caught you both on camera without him realizing. And there's more footage where that came from. I don't think you want to see it. Trust me, it's a lot worse.
What are you doing with Bree's mom? Why would she even do something like this?
Eleanor knew about her husband's affair already. She didn't sit around feeling sorry for herself. She started investigating everything, and she knew about both of you. She found out the truth, Skylar.
Wait, you're telling me this whole time she knew? I thought we were fine when we spoke at the kindergarten drop-off. There was nothing strange about our conversation.
Yeah, well, I didn't notice anything either. But once I started looking deeper, the truth came out.
Hold on.
I found out about your affair 2 months ago, and I knew about your little getaway a month ago. During that time, I was getting everything ready to move out. Just so you know, I've already told my work about this. I've been straight with them, so whatever happens from here on, you're not going to be able to keep things the same. You'll be kicked out of here.
Wait, so you've been planning this all along, and you didn't even tell me?
No, that's on you. You called it a mom's trip, didn't you? You invited your mom friends, but the truth is it was an affair trip. It was a cover-up for what was really going on.
So you think this is just going to be swept under the rug?
No, not a chance. After everything that's happened, living together is impossible now. This is it, Skylar. We're done.
But we have been living together for the past 2 months. You couldn't have been okay with that.
You have no idea how painful those 2 months were for me. And don't even get me started on that apartment. Your dad hates that place. He made it clear to me. And even though the lease is in my name, I'm the one who's leaving.
Wait a second. I just realized. This whole thing with the key?
Yeah, I changed the locks without telling your dad, so what? It's your dad's fault for not keeping track of things.
What?
I've already talked to your parents, Skylar. They know everything and they're backing me up. They know I'm moving out and they've approved of it. They're on my side.
What? Why would they agree to this?
When I told them about your affair, they were devastated. They even apologized to me. Now they're supporting everything I'm doing.
But this doesn't make sense.
As for the move, I didn't hide anything. I just told them I was leaving while you were away. The idea to change the locks was your dad's. He wanted to make sure you couldn't just waltz back in here without facing what you've done.
What? Why would he go that far?
It's simple. He didn't want you to come back and pretend nothing happened. He thought it would be better to send you back to your parents' house to confront what you've done.
What?
So the apartment's canceled, and guess what? Your stuff is already at your parents' house. Your dad moved it all yesterday.
Wait, you moved my stuff out without even telling me? You want me to go to my parents' house right now? You want me to deal with them after everything that's happened?
Yeah, that's the plan. Enjoy the reception you get when you walk in.
What?
Your parents are so mad right now they want to explode. But they know I need to do this, so they're letting you stay there.
No, you've got to be kidding me.
Depending on how you act when you get there, who knows what'll happen. But right now, it's just about surviving it.
Wait, you can't be serious.
By the way, your parents should be walking up the stairs to your apartment right now.
What?
I just got a message from them saying they're coming up now.
Wait, what?
The only way to get into the building is up those stairs, so you can't get away. You might as well sit tight and wait for them.
Wait a second. How is the timing so perfect?
Because I contacted them. Oh, and just so you know, Lenore's husband has already agreed to the divorce. Miley's mom is on the same path, too. But I guess you've got more pressing matters, like dealing with your parents. I don't think you have time for messages anymore, do you? From now on, everything will be handled by lawyers. Goodbye, Skylar. The discussions surrounding our divorce progressed more smoothly than I initially expected. I had prepared myself for a lengthy and contentious battle, especially over the custody of our daughter. But surprisingly, things didn't turn out that way. I thought for sure that custody would become a major point of contention. However, a few unexpected revelations changed the course of the conversation. It was discovered that my ex-wife had frequently left our daughter in the care of Miley's mom, one of her adulterous partners, as well as another individual involved in her affairs. This came to light during the proceedings, and it quickly became apparent that she had been neglecting her parental responsibilities. This revelation became the heart of the issue, and in the end, it led to me being granted full custody of our daughter. In the aftermath, I've made sure to settle near my parents' home so that I can receive their help in raising my daughter. They've been an invaluable support system, especially considering the circumstances. Raising a child on my own isn't easy, but with their assistance, I'm doing my best to provide our daughter with a stable and loving environment. My parents have been there for me every step of the way, helping me navigate this new chapter in my life. As for my ex-wife, things haven't gone as she may have hoped. After the divorce, it seemed she was planning to remarry her former lover, Eleanor's ex-husband. She was eager to begin a new life with him, but her plans were quickly thwarted by her own parents. They stepped in and strongly opposed the idea of her remarrying, putting a stop to it before it could even take shape. I imagine it must have been frustrating for her to have her choices so heavily restricted, especially after everything that had happened. But considering the way she acted during our marriage, I can't say I feel much sympathy. What really impacted her was the alimony that was imposed after our divorce. The financial compensation that she was required to pay wasn't something she could easily afford. And while she might have initially thought she could somehow avoid the consequences, her parents stepped in to cover the costs. In doing so, they ensured that she couldn't escape her obligations. It seems like she's now living under the watchful eye of her family, repaying the money she owes by working at a relative's business. The arrangement isn't ideal, but it's the situation she's in for now. From what I've heard, she's not exactly happy with the restrictions placed on her life, but at least it's giving her the opportunity to pay off her debts and rebuild some semblance of stability. Though I may not have much compassion for her in terms of what she's going through, I can't deny that I feel a sense of satisfaction in knowing that she's facing the consequences of her actions. In the end, things have worked out well for me, at least in terms of custody. I'm focused on being the best father I can be for our daughter, and I know I'm giving her the love and care she needs. It hasn't been easy, but it's the right thing for both of us. As for my ex-wife, it's clear that she'll have to face the fallout from her decisions for some time. Whether or not she can rebuild her life from here is uncertain, but for now, she's tied to her family's expectations and the responsibilities that come with her choices. I've learned a lot throughout this whole process. I've learned that life doesn't always go the way we plan, but sometimes that's for the best. While the divorce wasn't something I ever wanted, I now see that it was necessary for both my well-being and my daughter's. I'm still figuring out the finer details of life as a single parent, but every day brings a little more clarity. I'm working hard to ensure my daughter has everything she needs, and I've come to realize just how much strength I have in me. I can only hope that as she grows older, she'll understand the sacrifices I've made for her and appreciate the stability and love I've worked so hard to create for us both. The future remains uncertain, but for now, I'm focused on doing my best. And that's all I can do. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Sarah, you've decided to go back home? Why? When I was just about to arrive at Mom and Dad's place, did you decide to leave? Don't you think that's a little too rude for us sisters? Are you not even going to at least say hello to your younger sister? I heard that you'd brought your boyfriend over here, right? Could you bring him to see me at least one time, please? Hey, stop trying to ignore me, you ugly loser. You're getting really annoying again, so could you shut up? Who the hell are you calling annoying? Do you think you have the strength to call me that to my face? Maybe you're just pissed at me still because of how ugly you turned out. Now, hurry up and answer your little sister properly. I'm still on the road driving home, but I've pulled over at a gas station to fill up, so I guess I can talk to you now. Well, none of that matters right now. What really matters is talking about that man of yours. I heard that you guys are even engaged now, huh? Why do you think it's okay to not introduce him to your sister and just go home? Because I don't want him meeting you. That's my reason. All you are is a piece of crap sister that calls anyone she ever sees ugly and worse than you are. That's really embarrassing at your age, and it is for me too, so I didn't bother waiting for you to get home. I get that you're saying that to sound all tough, but I know the real reason. You didn't want him seeing me because you're afraid I'd take him from you. I bet that the moment he gets a glimpse of my face, he'll jump right off your train and onto mine. He would never be able to take a look back at you once he's seen my gorgeous face compared to your ugly one. That's not at all what I was afraid of. I just don't want him near a vile piece of garbage that spews out all this horrible crap and then thinks it's okay just because it looks good. That's the whole reason I made sure you were out of the house for a while before I came over. But you came back a bit earlier than expected. Yeah, whatever you want to say. Seems like it's not only your appearance that's ugly, huh? Well, this time was just bad luck on my part, so I'll forgive you. However, next time, make sure you let me see him when you're around. There won't be a next time, Brandy. I had only gone over there to let them see who I've been dating and to let them know that he's the man I'll be marrying. And I'm not really planning to throw anything big to celebrate us, so there's really no need to invite you guys to anything. So that was the last time I'll be around you guys ever. Huh? What the heck? You're not even going to get my permission to marry him before you go? I don't really care what you think of us. You're not my parent. And it's not like you care about what happens to some ugly girl like me, right? It's still burned into my brain all the memories of how Mom and Dad treated you so much better than me just because you looked cuter to them. I was told over and over again that you got more than me because you were cuter, and that's the whole reason they never even paid for me to go to college. Right as I had graduated middle school, I had to run away from you guys and luckily was accepted into an all-girls private school that had a dormitory for me to stay in. And when I had asked one time to have a little bit of money for college, they turned me down, so I had to rely on scholarships to get me where I wanted to go. I'm sure you understand now why I had to cut ties with you all for a long time, right? And once again, I am going back to no longer involving myself with you all, so please respect that and leave me alone as well. You have a good point that I shouldn't care about what happens to an ugly little duckling like you, but I'm actually only interested in that man you have there. He's the same age as you, right? And just as I had heard from Mom and Dad, he has a really cute face and is just my type. I bet if he got a look at me, he'd be all over me. What the hell are you saying? Could you calm down a little with those fantasies of yours? His name's Logan, correct? When you guys were backing out of the driveway, he must have gotten a good look at my face, right? I bet that blew him away after looking at your ugly face for the past few years. But aren't I a little too old for him? I bet that he's regretting ever getting engaged with trash like you. I doubt that. And Logan told me that he wasn't interested in you when he got a glance. I think all of that is in your head and in your head only. Or could it be that you're just trying to avoid the inevitable here? Well, he sure is a great-looking man. That face is perfect for me. He graduated from Harvard, right? And is now working for a very large bank, right? He is literally everything that I need in a man. Yet he's going to waste all of that on some lost cause like you. Oh, that poor thing. I'd really love to show him what a real woman can do for him. Excuse me? What the heck, Brandy? I bet I could even get away with getting him to do as I say. He's going to be younger than me in the relationship, so I could act like a dominating sister at times. So what do you think about me marrying him for you? I'd really like it if you handed him over to me soon. What? Have you completely lost your mind now? Is this what it looks like when a middle-aged woman hasn't found a man in years that will love her? I'm telling you that his face is my type, and he's going to have a really successful future. I guess I've just been caught in his net. And when it comes to family, it should be the younger sister getting married first, right? Compared to a run-down-looking girl like you, I should be the one with a man wrapped around her. No, what the frick? That's not going to happen. I hate to have to bring this up, but didn't you only graduate from high school and with awful grades at that? You even had to retake a year, and when looking for work, you went through 3 different jobs before you finally gave up. And you're 9 years younger than I am, making you close to 25 right now. I doubt that you'd ever be able to make conversation with a man like him. Huh? My past education and my job experience have nothing to do with love. My job as a wife is to take care of the house and the family. And I'll use my lovely body and face to make him feel like a king every time he gets home from work. I also have that big sister vibe that a lot of younger guys are into nowadays, so I don't need an education or a job. You'll do the chores and raise a family. You will? All I've seen from you is staying in your room and laying around all day while Mom and Dad still care for you. Mom has to do all the chores for you, and Dad has to still give you an allowance. You think that once you get married, you'll just stand up and do a 180? That'll never happen. You just keep on running your mouth, don't you? I've had enough of this, so just listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to be taking your man, so now hand him over. And then take yourself out to find someone that's a little less attractive and a bit more of a shut-in. I have no idea why you think you can talk to me like this still. I knew for a long time that you had something wrong with you, but I'm starting to wonder if you're even human. You're so freaking weird that I can barely even begin to think of any comebacks with you. Do you really think I enjoy listening to some strange alien talk to me in another incomprehensible language? I'd watch what you're saying, Sarah, because both Mom and Dad are going to be on my side here. Huh? They always let me do anything I want, no matter what it is. I already asked them, and they said that one of their daughters would still be getting married, so nothing would change, and that with me being married to him, it'd make a ton more sense since my beauty matches his. So that Logan is going to be marrying me. I'd hurry up and give up on him so that you can start looking for someone a little less attractive. What the hell is wrong with you all? Do you think that Mom and Dad would really do that? Stop talking out of your butt and go away. And get those gross thoughts of my fiancé out of your head. I have no idea what had gotten into you, little Miss Ugly. I'm just asking that you do as the family says and give him to me. Letting him marry you would be a total waste. I bet he would also love to be with a woman like me anyway, so you both get back in your car and come back here for the handoff. He's my fiancé after all. My little Logan. I'm gonna vomit. Listen, Brandy, Logan has been reading all of this conversation, and he says he wants to have a word with you. I'm going to let him speak with you now. What? Really? I bet he's going to propose to me. Oh, I'm so happy. Hurry up and give him my number.
Nice to meet you. I'm glad to be able to marry your younger sister, Sarah, and my name is Logan Bohr.
Well, nice to meet you as well. We just got to meet only a little while ago, huh? I'm Sarah's younger sister, Brandy, and I look forward to marrying you.
Well, my fiancée is Sarah. You have no relation to me besides being my fiancé's sister, so please stop what you're doing.
You don't have to hide your feelings for me anymore. Hey, you can give up on that ugly girl and come and marry me instead. I know that you have an interest in me, right, Logan? I knew by the way you looked at me while backing out of the driveway that you had started to get feelings for me. I suppose this is love at first sight, you and I.
I'm not enjoying listening to these jokes. I had only been looking at you to understand who Sarah's sister really was. And about that love at first sight, unlike you, I didn't feel such a thing while looking at you. The person I'm going to marry is Sarah.
Are you really all right marrying someone as ugly as her? You don't have to keep our love for each other a secret anymore. If you didn't know, she's always looked that bad ever since she was born. If you marry that kind of a girl, you'll end up with ugly children as well.
Unlike what you keep thinking, I don't find Sarah to be ugly in any way. To me, she's a very cute and lovely woman. And since she's the most important person to me, I don't want to hear you talking poorly about her anymore.
You have to be joking, calling her cute. Logan, have you really not noticed just how horrible of a person you've been dating? I suppose we'll need to get you a pair of glasses before the wedding, you poor thing. I bet that the moment you put those bad boys on and see my looks compared to hers, your heart will change in an instant. I think you deserve to have a good-looking wife like me, don't you think? And by having a hot-looking wife in your house, your status will go right up. So go get rid of that girl and come back to a beauty like me.
I'm sorry. I know that you've been going on and on about how good-looking a person you are and whatnot, but have you taken a good look into a mirror lately? Well, to put this bluntly, and I'm sure this will sound rude and all, but you don't look as good as you hype yourself up to be. I'm sure that has to do with you neglecting your hygiene, right? I've noticed that you have a ton of pimples and blemishes on your face that really stand out. Also, your skin looks to be really oily, and I couldn't help but wonder when the last time you took a good shower was. And, well, I'm not sure what to say here, but from the way you've been treating my fiancé, it seems like you have something mentally wrong with you that needs to be addressed.
What? Are you saying I'm hard to look at? Me? That could never be. How rude of you to say something like that to me.
I told you I would be blunt. I never meant for any of that to be mean towards you, but since you keep making fun of my fiancé, I had no other choice than to state some very obvious facts about you. Honestly, I'm angry with you, so I had no choice but to tell you off like this. Compared to you, Sarah not only looks better than you, but she has a way better and healthier heart than you do. Really, it's hard to even compare you to someone as amazing as her.
Stop screwing around, Logan. Are you seriously going to sit there saying that she looks better than me? How could that possibly be? Maybe I was wrong about you having a hard time seeing and needing glasses. Really, you seem to just be blind to what true beauty is.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm fine being blind. At least I still get to love a woman that doesn't have a warped soul, who finds it okay to pick on her little sister and threaten to take her fiancé from her. So I'm glad to be marrying Sarah.
Warped? What makes you think I'm that bad of a person? You need to get a grip, Logan. There is no way I could be that kind of a person. Apologize to me right now. You can't call me any of that. Now come over here and get on your knees and apologize to me. If you don't apologize to me right now, I'm going to disown her.
Well, that would be great, actually. She already had to leave that house when she was 13 because you guys never cared for her. And this whole time she had been trying her best to at least let you guys know about her life and me becoming her fiancé. So if you think you have to disown her, well, it'll take a lot of weight off her back and mine. And she's already told you that she no longer wants you guys around her anymore, so this is just perfect. Also, I plan to take great care of Sarah as she becomes a part of my family. So you won't need to worry about how she's doing anymore.
What? What is wrong with you? What are you thinking? You'll be stuck living with an ugly witch for the rest of your life, you know, and she's going to be cast out by her family. Why is any of that okay with you?
Because unlike you, she is a very beautiful adult that has succeeded in many things on her own. She doesn't even need to rely on a man like me to function and can do all she needs to on her own. And that's what makes me love her so much. So compared to you, she's a perfect woman.
What?
And as a final note, I have never in my life dreamed of marrying an ugly, unkempt, and unemployed woman. I'm gonna bring the girl of my dreams into my family in a few months, so while I'm busy enjoying my dream come true, go ahead and do whatever you want. And don't you ever show your pimples and oily face around us again. And make sure to let your parents know what I've said here as well for me. Anyway, I hope to never see you again.
After I finished the conversation with my younger sister, I made a decisive decision to block her from my life. I was done with the toxicity she had brought into my world, and I realized that cutting ties with her was the best choice for my own peace of mind. The conversation had been a long time coming, and when it finally happened, I felt a mix of relief and empowerment. But what really struck me during that time was Logan's reaction to the whole situation. He had been calm and composed, but his words to my sister showed just how deeply he cared for me. His protective instincts were clear, and I felt a warm rush inside knowing that he was on my side, standing up for me in ways that I had longed for but never thought I would receive. It wasn't just what he said that impressed me, but how he said it. He was firm, but never raised his voice, yet every word he spoke hit like a ton of bricks. I think my sister had never been talked to like that before in her life. She was used to getting away with things, to manipulating others into giving her what she wanted, but this time Logan was different. He didn't let her get away with her behavior, and I think that was the wake-up call she desperately needed. I could see the shock in her eyes as he called her out on her actions, and for the first time, I think she finally realized that not everyone would tolerate her entitled behavior. But it wasn't just my sister who received Logan's wrath. He didn't stop at just confronting her. He also spoke directly to her parents. The way he addressed them, telling them how they had enabled her behavior for so long, really opened their eyes. My parents had always been blinded by their love for their daughter, and it took someone like Logan to pull back the veil and show them the ugly truth. For so many years, they had been in denial, making excuses for her, believing that she was simply misunderstood or that her actions could be excused by her youth or circumstances. But Logan didn't hold back. He told them exactly what I had been too afraid to say for so long. And in that moment, the filter was lifted. The reality of the situation hit them hard, and they had no choice but to accept it. The days following that confrontation were tense. My sister became a shell of the person she once was, retreating to her room and not coming out except to grab food. It was almost like she was in hiding, unable to face anyone. I think for the first time in her life, she was confronted with the full weight of the consequences of her actions. No longer could she rely on her parents to shield her from the truth, and she was forced to reckon with the person she had become. Her parents, too, had changed. They began to treat her differently, no longer tolerating her entitled attitude. I had always felt that they had coddled her, that they had never held her accountable for her actions. But now it seemed like they were finally seeing her for who she really was. They stopped giving her special treatment, and instead, they started to tell her what they always should have. They told her that she needed to get a life, that she wasn't going to be handed everything just because she was their daughter. Day after day, they would tell her she was a failure, that she wasn't living up to her potential, and that she was going to have to face the real world with no help from them anymore. I think that deep down, my sister had always known she wasn't the person her parents thought she was. The entitlement, the spoiled behavior, it was all a defense mechanism. She had never been forced to confront the truth about herself, and now that she was, she didn't know how to handle it. It's hard to change when you've been given everything for so long and never had to work for anything. Eventually, Brandy reached her breaking point. After hearing her parents tell her that she was worthless and a failure every single day, she snapped. She told them that she was beautiful, that she didn't need anyone's validation, and that she would show everyone how amazing she truly was. With that, she decided to leave home and try to find a modeling job, convinced that her looks alone would be enough to open doors for her. Unfortunately for Brandy, the world didn't work the way she expected. She visited agency after agency, but each one turned her away. Her looks alone couldn't make up for her lack of self-awareness, her poor attitude, and the arrogance she carried with her. I'm sure when she walked into those agencies, the people behind the desks must have been amused by her confidence. But I can imagine they saw through the facade. It wasn't just the fact that she didn't take care of her health that made her unattractive to others. It was the bitterness and insecurity that radiated from her every time she spoke. Her rotten heart and inability to accept criticism or rejection only made her even more unappealing. It didn't take long for Brandy to realize that her dream of becoming a successful model was never going to happen. After being turned away from every agency, she had nowhere else to turn but back to her parents. But this time, things were different. When she returned to their house, they told her she was no longer welcome. They had finally reached the end of their patience, and they made it clear that they would no longer support her. They told her that she had to face the consequences of her actions and that it was time for her to figure things out on her own. With nowhere else to go, Brandy was forced to leave her parents' home and live on the streets. It was a sobering experience for her, and although I don't take any pleasure in seeing her suffer, I couldn't help but feel that it was something she needed to experience. It was the harsh reality she had been avoiding for so long. For the first time, she had to face the world without the safety net of her parents.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Matt, your business trip started today, right?
Yeah, that's right. Just like I mentioned this morning, I'll be away for 2 nights and 3 days starting today. I wrapped up my work at the company in the morning and then left right after lunch to catch my flight.
Got it. So everything seems like it's on track with no changes in the plan, right?
Yep, that's right. No changes so far. Wait a second. What's up with you today? You don't usually ask me about my schedule like this. You're being extra curious today.
Well, it's just that I'm also going on a trip starting today, so I figured it would be a good idea for both of us to keep track of each other's plans, just to be on the safe side.
Oh, I see now. So you're going on a trip with Miley from Virginia, huh?
Yep, that's right. Just like you, it's a 2-night, 3-day trip, and there are no changes in the schedule.
Got it. So everything's set for both of us then.
But, I feel kind of guilty. I feel like I'm the one just going off to enjoy myself while you're stuck working and staying away for business.
Oh, come on, don't feel bad about it. It's not like that at all. Business trips can actually be a bit of a break, believe it or not.
Really? I wouldn't think of it as a break. I thought they were all about work.
No, really. Once the work part of the trip is done, it's actually quite relaxing. After meetings or whatever business I have to take care of, I get to just chill at the hotel and not worry about anything. In fact, it's probably healthier than sitting at a desk for hours on end, staring at a screen all day.
Wow, I never thought about it that way. I always imagined business trips were just exhausting.
Trust me, they can be, but there's a certain freedom to it that's hard to explain. It's like I'm out of the office and just getting to reset. It's nice. You should try it sometime.
I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, I think it's about time for me to head out and meet Miley now. We've got a few things planned for the day.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm also about to head out now, so we're both off to our own trips.
Right, let's both enjoy our time away, even if it's for different reasons. I'll message you again later tonight once I've settled in. It'll be nice to catch up.
Sounds good. I'll be looking forward to it.
All right then, take care on your way and have a safe trip.
You too. Don't have too much fun without me, and enjoy the time with Miley.
Matt, how's it going on your side?
I just finished work and checked into the hotel for my business trip. Man, I'm exhausted. So tired.
Work can really drain you, huh?
Yeah, it really does.
What kind of work did you have today?
Just a normal business negotiation. I can't go into too much detail since it's about company matters, but we were finalizing details with the other party about the next contract renewal.
Oh, wow. You traveled all the way there just to handle a contract renewal? That's pretty intense.
Well, this is with one of the most important clients for our company, so it's kind of a must. It's also a bit of a courtesy call, you know?
Got it. By the way, your company seems pretty generous.
Huh?
I mean, allowing one employee to stay in a suite that cost hundreds of dollars per night for a business trip?
No, that's not how it is at all. Sure, in big cities or tourist destinations, it's okay if the price is a bit higher. But even then, it's usually around $100. The trip isn't to a big city or tourist spot, so the prices are pretty reasonable.
So you're saying New York City isn't a big city or a tourist spot?
Wait, what?
Actually, I just checked into the hotel where you're staying for your business trip.
What? But you were supposed to be traveling with Miley.
Yeah, Miley and I are here on a sightseeing trip in New York.
Wait a second! But you were talking about looking forward to the outdoor bath, right? Wasn't your trip supposed to be to a hot spring resort?
Oh, that. We're planning to stop by a ski resort on the way back, which has an outdoor bath. I was talking about the outdoor bath there.
Are you serious?
So, I guess you figured out what's really going on now, right?
What? What do you mean?
Whether you're genuinely clueless or just pretending not to know, let me clarify. Amy Jackson.
What?
She's your business trip companion, right? But wait, why are two people of the opposite gender staying in the same room for a business trip? Doesn't that seem a little inappropriate from the company's perspective?
Oh, I see. You must have seen me and Amy check in together. It's actually the hotel's mistake. The suite room mix-up is their fault, too. They were supposed to prepare another room for us, but I haven't heard back from the front desk yet. Something's weird, huh?
Even if you call the front desk now, it won't help.
No, really, it's true. There's no reason to think anything shady is going on. The hotel made a mistake, but that's it.
It's not a hotel mistake. You booked the room from the start with the understanding that you and Amy would stay in the same room, right? And it was Amy, the little princess, who requested the suite.
How do you know that for sure?
Because I've got proof.
What?
Haven't you figured it out yet?
Figured out what?
This is the same hotel we stayed at when we were in college with our club, remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember that, but so what?
I'm glad you liked the hotel, but maybe it would have been better to do a little more research beforehand.
What are you talking about?
You still don't get it? Well, there should be a hotel brochure in the room. Go ahead and open the page with the innkeeper's greeting.
Fine. What is this even about?
Look on the table. Just go ahead and check it out.
Fine. Okay, I'm looking at it. Wait a minute. The innkeeper? It's Miley?
That's right. Miley's the innkeeper here now.
Wait, hold on. When we came here last time, the innkeeper was a woman in her 40s or 50s, wasn't it?
That was the previous innkeeper, Miley's mother. Her health worsened recently, so Miley married the head chef at the hotel and took over as the innkeeper.
Seriously?
And by the way, the hotel's owner is Miley's father. When I was in charge of the club's trip reservation, that's why I knew how things worked.
Wait a second! Does this mean that the reason we got free dessert and drinks back then?
Yep, that was a gesture from Miley's father. Now, let's get to the current situation. When you booked the twin suite for your stay, it was Miley who handled your call.
Wait, seriously?
At the time, she was in work mode, so she avoided personal topics, but you were on the phone saying, "We'll be staying as a married couple." So Miley must have assumed you were coming with your wife. She even reached out personally to recommend some spots. When she found out what was really going on, your affair came to light, and, well, here we are.
No way!
So let's continue. Amy, your affair partner, is the only daughter of one of the company's executives, right?
What? You looked that up too?
Well, of course, since my husband is having an affair, it's only natural I'd find out everything.
So it's all out in the open now?
That's right. So what are you going to do about it?
I don't care. I love Amy. So just divorce me already.
That was fast, huh?
Say what you want. Amy's beautiful, elegant, and pure. Most importantly, she's the daughter of the company president. She's way better than you.
Now that you mention it, you've always liked the elegant, refined characters in games and movies, haven't you?
Yeah, that's true. Amy is like a real-life version of the ideal, refined woman I've always dreamed of.
I see. Well, let me get back to the point. I do want a divorce, but just to make sure you're aware, you know you'll be the one paying alimony, right?
Of course.
Well, then I'll be asking for it, and I'm assuming you've got the money to pay?
Well, of course. Like I've said, Amy's the daughter of a company president, and she's the only child, so if we get married, I'll become the next president. This company's way bigger than the one I'm working at now, so paying alimony will be no problem at all. It's like I'm hitting the jackpot. I'm gonna be living the dream just like those stories in games and movies. This is my lucky break. I can't let it slip away.
Wait a second. Do you not know?
Not know what?
The heir to that company is actually their nephew.
What?
Yeah, it seems he's already set to take over as president next year.
What? Nephew?
Yep. And by the way, Amy already has a fiancé, and there are multiple men courting her. You're just one of her playthings.
What? You're lying, right? This can't be true.
Oh, you didn't know all this, huh? How cute.
Wait, does this mean I can't become president?
Well, that's right. But I don't think you should be shocked about that right now.
Wait, there's more!
Amy's father is furious about your affair with his daughter. He actually called your company and canceled the business relationship.
What?
He said, I refuse to do business with a company that has such irresponsible employees.
No way! That's company confidential! There's no way they could leak that! So you must have no idea what you're talking about! You're just making up stories!
Well, you see, we're here now. Amy's father is right here with us.
What?
I had already planned to confront you with the affair, and when I told him about it, he insisted on coming to finalize things here today. Oh, don't bother calling. We're staying in the room next door.
What?
Well, let's move to your room to talk. We'll bring in the lawyer, too, and settle this face to face. Right after this, we barged into the suite where Matt and Amy were. The door swung open and the atmosphere immediately shifted. It felt almost surreal as we entered the room where the two of them had been, not just living out their own private drama, but making decisions that would affect all of us for the rest of our lives. The scene inside was tense. Matt and Amy were sitting on the couch looking almost stunned, not expecting the confrontation that was coming their way. They had no idea we were coming, but they should have known better. This was the end game, the point of no return. The lawyer who had been with me throughout this ordeal stepped forward, his demeanor cool and professional as always. He was the one leading this entire process, ensuring everything was done legally and properly. He advised me at every stage of this chaos, and now it was time to put everything into motion. Under the lawyer's direction, we were about to settle things right then and there. The divorce papers were placed in front of them. The moment had arrived. There was no going back. Matt's face, already pale from the overwhelming realization of what he had done, grew even paler as the papers were pushed toward him. Amy looked more resigned than surprised, her expression a mixture of shame and inevitability. She knew there was no escape now. The damage was done. Her actions and Matt's had led to this moment. Without wasting any more time, the lawyer instructed both of them to sign the divorce papers immediately. It wasn't a request, it was a demand. There was no room for negotiation or hesitation. They had both made their choices, and now they had to deal with the consequences of those choices. The room was thick with the weight of the situation, but there was no alternative but to comply. After all, this was the only way to legally dissolve the mess they had created. The signing was done quickly, almost in a robotic manner. Neither of them looked at each other as they signed, but their eyes flickered briefly toward one another. A fleeting moment of shared understanding that, for all the passion and connection they had once felt, it was over. The life they had tried to build together, the lies, the betrayal, the broken promises, it all led to this moment, and now there was no turning back. The lawyer took the signed papers and began to finalize the details. As for me, I felt a strange sense of satisfaction. This was the culmination of months of emotional turmoil, of uncertainty, and of pain. Finally, it was all coming to an end, but in some ways, it was only the beginning of a new chapter for me. I had been patient through this whole process, waiting for the moment when I could take control of my own future, and now it was time. But Matt wasn't the only one affected by this. His company had been hit hard by the scandal surrounding him. The affair between him and Amy had gone public in a way that was impossible to ignore, and the backlash had been swift and severe. Their biggest business partner, who had been a longtime supporter of the company, was so disgusted by Matt's actions that they severed all ties. The deal they had been working on for months fell apart, and with it, the company lost millions of dollars. It was a massive blow, one that left the entire organization reeling. The company's upper management, not willing to tolerate the scandal, made the decision to cut ties with Matt. The resignation was inevitable. In a way, he had no choice but to leave. His presence had become toxic, and despite his previous position and contributions to the company, there was no recovering from this. The damage was too great. He was asked to resign, and there was no going back. His professional career, much like his personal life, had collapsed. And as the one who had caused all this, Matt had no one but himself to blame. The worst part for him, perhaps, was that there was no dignity in his departure. He was escorted out of the building in disgrace, with whispers and stares following him wherever he went. It was a humiliating moment, one that would stay with him for the rest of his life. The man who had once been so confident, so secure in his career, was now left with nothing but the ruins of his past decisions. As for me, I wasn't about to let this pass without claiming what was rightfully mine. I'd suffered enough, and I was going to make sure that Matt and Amy paid for what they had done. The emotional toll had been heavy, and though money could never fully compensate for the hurt and betrayal I had experienced, it was the least I could do. I demanded a lump sum payment from them as alimony, one that would make sure I didn't have to deal with this situation for the rest of my life. There was no hesitation on my part. I wasn't going to allow them to walk away from this without facing the financial consequences of their actions. I was going to ensure that I was compensated for everything, every moment of pain, every sleepless night, every ounce of emotional energy that had been drained from me. They had taken so much from me, and now it was time for them to pay. I demanded the full amount up front, no installments, no payment plans, just a lump sum. And surprisingly, they agreed. Amy, who had been once so sure of herself, looked defeated as she handed over the payment. Matt, too, seemed resigned to the fact that he had no choice. It wasn't a victory, not in the true sense of the word, but it was justice in some form, and that was enough for me. Looking back, I couldn't help but think that in some ways I had been fortunate. Despite everything that had happened, there were no children involved. If there had been kids in the picture, things would have been much more complicated. Child custody, visitation rights, and the emotional toll on the children would have been overwhelming. I was lucky in that sense, though I knew it wasn't something I could take for granted. The emotional scars were still there, but at least I didn't have the added burden of worrying about a child caught in the middle of this mess. As for Amy, the fallout of her affair was swift and unforgiving. The acting world, once full of promise for her, turned its back on her completely. The news of her betrayal spread like wildfire through the industry, and it wasn't long before her career came to a screeching halt. No one wanted to work with her anymore. The scandal had ruined her reputation, and she had nowhere to turn. She had once been the promising starlet with a bright future, but now she was nothing more than a cautionary tale. Her engagement to Matt was officially called off. It had been a short-lived romance, one that had burned bright and fast before fizzling out in spectacular fashion. Promises of love and a shared future had crumbled into nothing, leaving Amy with only the remnants of her shattered dreams. To make matters worse, Amy found herself cut off from her family. Her father, as he had promised, disowned her. The rejection was swift and harsh, a final blow to someone who had already lost so much. It wasn't that her father had never warned her about her actions. He had made it clear that if she ever brought shame to the family, he would not hesitate to cut ties. And true to his word, he did just that. There would be no forgiveness, no second chances. Amy was on her own, without the safety net of her family to fall back on. With nowhere else to turn, Amy found herself working at a night establishment. It wasn't glamorous, but it was the only way she could make ends meet. She had once dreamed of being a star, but now she was stuck in a world far removed from the glitz and glamour she had once known. The work was difficult, and it wasn't long before the reality of her situation set in. She had no choice but to keep pushing forward, even as her dreams of stardom slipped further and further away. As for Matt, after everything had fallen apart, he retreated back to his family home. But instead of picking up the pieces of his life and trying to rebuild, he chose to hide away from the world. He locked himself in his room, isolating himself from everyone and everything. It was as if he had given up. There was no effort to find a new job, no effort to move forward in any meaningful way. Instead, Matt became obsessed with anime and video games. It was as if these fictional worlds were the only thing that could give him solace. He threw himself into these virtual realms, living out romantic fantasies with two-dimensional characters. It was strange, almost pathetic, to see a man who had once had everything retreat into a world of escapism. He seemed to find more comfort in these imaginary relationships than in confronting the harsh reality of his own life. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.